Hi, I'm Patrick Maliha, and this week on Totally Random Mouth Noise, I have with myself comedy legend and icon David Cross. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, most people are going to recognize you from your Mr. Show fame, and of course, Arrested Development, and or or not.
Okay. You're throwing me for a curve.
That's what we do here on TRMN. I tend to throw out the hardball question. So now you are here at the Vancouver Comedy Festival, and you're doing Comedy Death Ray, which is very successful comedy troupe or performance. Or for people who don't know what Comedy Death Ray is exactly, maybe
it's really nothing but a show. It's not a troupe, and it's the one constant is the guys that started it and run it, Scott Aukerman, BJ Porter, also known as the Fun Bunch when they do something, who wrote and acted on Mr. Show for a couple years. It's nothing. I can't say it's unique in its idea. It's simply putting together kind of a show that has a bunch of different people. It's not necessarily people who are going to be doing their, they'll more likely they're working stuff out, some kind of sketchy ideas, sometimes character pieces, whatever, and very loose atmosphere, and it just happens to be, for a couple different reasons, the most successful one because it's very fun to do. Mm-hmm. It's always a good room. The audiences are great. And it's something you look forward to doing if you're in town, like myself, or if you live there. Do it. You can just pop down, and the lineups are just stellar. I mean, the best of the best.
So, who would be a typical show? What's a typical show for Comedy Death Ray?
Let's say I'm in town. I'm doing it. Bob Odenkirk, Sarah Silverman, Patton Oswalt, Eugene Merman. It depends on who's in town, and it's just a killer lineup.
That is,
it's really fun.
It's brilliant. It's all stars of comedy is basically what it is. It's like if you were going to put together a comedy all-star team, and that's pretty much what Comedy Death Ray seems to be.
And that's what they kind of brought up here. You had Doug Benson, Brian Posehn, Andy Kindler, Maria Bamford, Neil Hamburger, Todd Glass. It was good. Those are all people who kind of participate in the show.
Nice.
In LA.
Nice. Now, you've been part of, we touched on it off the top, but you've been part of 2 television series so far that in the modern lexicon of comedy stand the test of time. People, voracious fans. Mr. Show, very well, maybe more popular now than it's ever been because of the internet and DVDs.
It definitely was one of those shows, and I think both Bob and I had this kind of feeling that this might happen. That it was definitely more appreciated, more seen by a vast number of people after it was off the air.
Right. And
kind of had that feeling.
All great artists are known and recognized in their passing, much like the show came to its conclusion, and then
we're both dead.
No, I meant no,
spiritually.
We're
spiritually dead.
That's right.
Physically still here.
Physically still here. The spirit has been broken. But I was referring to the show itself as having passed on.
I figured that out.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Seriously, is the heat on? Because I don't feel so good. But now, Arrested Development. For myself, episodic television, had to watch it every week.
Yeah, it was fun. I
loved it, brilliant. Own the DVD sets. Why do you think it is that for some reason society won't give something like a show such as Arrested Development enough of a chance to continue to break out?
It's not society. Society had zero to do with it. It's a free market economy that had everything to do with it. It was simply the network it was on, which is not necessarily concerned with art, but it's commerce. It's concerned with making money. Felt that the cost to, what it gave back ratio was not worth it. They could make more money not doing that show and doing another show and putting it in its place. So that was that simple.
But here's the thing where it gets weird with modern media and the way things work with the industry is that Arrested Development seems to be doing very well in reruns. It's here in Canada. It's on CBC. It's on reruns every day. Popular show. DVD sales seem to be doing well. Mr. Show, like I said, DVD sales continue to do exceptionally well. Both yourself and Bob have huge, rabid fan followings, like people who are insanely dedicated to you. So what do you think what is it that you create that you think plugs into the zeitgeist of this certain percentage of society and people just need to have their David Cross fix?
Well, I think you're being a little hyperbolic, but I don't know if it's an addiction that has, physical withdrawal symptoms as a ramification. But I think people just, not everybody, of course. I think there's, it's a small, hardcore fan base, but I think it's small because it also feels like it's theirs. I mean, I've certainly had that, and continue to have that same relationship with, other artists that I think are really great or doing something really great, and like anything, whether if it's a musician, I know when their album's coming out, and I'm and nobody else knows about them, and I'm go to see the show, and I'm talking to people about it. It's your thing,
right.
That you appreciate on a greater level simply because it's not huge, and it also happens to be good, and I suppose that has something to do with it, and neither Bob or I. And Bob much less than me, but really tour extensively. So when we do sets somewhere, it's
an event.
It's it's got there's a
it's like Monday Night Football. It's like people look forward to it.
That's what that was what I've modeled my career after is Monday Night Football. Yeah.
So, and I understand that you're going to be playing Allen Ginsberg in a new Bob Dylan film, which is it's a very interesting concept. The film, in and of itself, various people playing Bob Dylan. So, how do you land a role as Allen Ginsberg in a film such as that? Did you audition? Did they approach you?
No, I got a call. I'd never met Todd Haynes before, but I was a huge Todd Haynes fan, the director of the movie. And I got a call about, they were interested in seeing if I was interested in, just doing this kind of brief thing in there. And I said, absolutely. I didn't even ask for the script or anything. I mean, obviously I wanted to see the script at some point, but I was like, I just said yeah, because I wanted to work with Todd Haynes and meet him, and it was shot in Montreal. And it was fun. Hair and makeup did a kick-ass job.
You look like Allen Ginsberg.
I look a lot like it was eerie, and I got some tape to kind of study his voice and his cadence, I look a lot like him. I mean, it makes me think I might be gay.
Really?
I might be a member of NAMBLA.
Hold on a second.
That's how uncanny it was.
Are you telling me Allen Ginsberg was gay?
Yeah, super gay.
Wow.
Super duper gay. Totally full on 150% gay.
Well, we'll leave that to...
Like little boys' penises all over here, gay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
That's gay.
It's pretty gay.
That you can't get any less gay than that, especially if that's the...
Well, no, you can get less gay. That's
you
my
could
point.
get less gay. You can't get more gay.
Right. You could get a lot less gay.
You sure? Yeah, you could. You could get like this right now. This is a lot less gay.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, if there was an invisible wall here and you're pointing,
that would be even far more less gay. Now, this is an actual cover.
Oh, I didn't realize this is a prop. I was playing with it earlier.
That's okay.
It's a prop. It was a prop.
No, I was going to say, this is an actual cover of a Canadian magazine, Maclean's magazine, and the cover, it says, "Inside Iraq, How Bush became the new Saddam. So, and they've got him, photoshopped. He's looking like, Magnum PI. And so for...
Or Saddam.
Or Saddam.
Maybe you're making the...
That does look... Yeah. That would make more sense. So how do you feel about something like that? I know that for yourself, you're not...
How do I feel about the cover?
How do you feel about people
Canadian?
referring to, outside of the U.S., people viewing George W. Bush as the new Saddam? Do you feel that...
Well, they're right. I mean, I'd have to hear the argument that he's the new Saddam, but yeah, I mean, I think Bush is a criminal and should be jailed if at the very least impeached. I think he's and I said it early on, like maybe 2 years into his reign, but yeah, I think he will be easily, without a doubt, seen as the worst president in the history of the U.S.
Time is the
ultimate arbiter.
Ultimate arbiter of all that occurs in our lives.
I was kind of shocked, but shocked's not the right word. Surprised, but gladdened when I saw the cover of the. It was an English newspaper. I think it was the Daily Mail, I believe, and it said after his re-election in 2004, it was a huge, just a big picture of him, and it said how could, in the entire headline of the paper, front page, how could whatever it was, 54,832,017 people be so wrong?
Oh, well, there you go.
Right on.
So how soon do you think it is before we see the statues of George W. Bush toppled in the town square?
You won't see any statues. Maybe he'll make one out of cow patties in his ranch in Crawford just because he's bored. I don't know. I don't think there are any statues to him.
Now, what does David Cross, what does he do to relax? When you want to unwind?
Let's ask him.
David, what would you like to do to relax and unwind?
You know what? I play video games. Love video games.
Nice.
And like just as a come in.
That's how high quality. That is the respect that Totally Random Mouth Noise has. Is that they come and they're here to turn the bed. They're here to change the sheets. So video games. You love video games.
Video games where you it's like a first-person perspective, but you're relaxing. The guy in the game it's all about like navigating from couch to bed to inner tube,
nice.
Floating down a river. So it's all. I play video games about relaxing.
Nice, brilliant. And anything else? Favorite TV shows? Favorite movies?
I'm a big fan of Lost.
Oh, nice.
Love
Do you know
Lost.
what's going on in Lost? Have you figured it out?
No. Have you?
No. That's why I'm just...
Has anybody... I like my Top Chefs. I don't know if you get that here in Canada. I like that. And I like The Daily Show and nice. Colbert Report and some stuff on Adult Swim. And... That's bad. I don't watch like regular
television,
primetime TV. I watch the only show I really watch is Lost. Like that fits that category.
And enjoy it. And top 5 movies
of all time.
Of all time.
The General, Bicycle Thief, Badlands, Mate One.
Porky's.
2.
Porky's 2. All right. Porky's 1.
I'll go with Sallow.
Oh, okay.
Which I will never watch again, but it was the most effective movie I've ever watched.
Really?
It was, yeah, really, really depressing and just awful, and I've never been that shaken or moved by a movie. I'll never watch it again. It's terrible. It's not terrible,
but the way it made you feel.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was wow. So, do you for yourself, you've been involved in stand-up and television and film and writing. So where do you get the greatest pleasure from? What do you enjoy doing the most?
I mean, they're all of it. I like working on good projects, working with good people. I'm rarely delighted or entertained by the product itself at the end of it, because I'm so close to it and I've worked on everything. So it's not, I can't look at that thing and go, that TV show is better than that movie or that stand-up performance. It's all about my presence within them as I'm doing them. But they're all very satisfying in their own way, and I'm glad I get to do all that stuff.
That's nice. So when did you realize that you're like stand-up comedy? That's for me. That's.
Oh, I was young. I think the first thing I ever did was right before my 18th birthday. Was the first open mic I did, and then.
Where did you do the open mic?
In Atlanta, where I grew up.
Oh, nice.
And the first paid gig I ever had was at a weird transvestite, like new wave gay bar thing. Yeah, on Ponce de Leon in Atlanta called the Nightery.
So how did that end up being your first paid gig? How do you get booked then?
I knew the guy who booked the room. He was like a local kind of impresario guy who booked a bunch of different rooms and like knew all the cool punk bands and stuff. His name was Tom Zarelli, I remember. And I think it was just a matter of me kind of, I don't want to say needling him, but just asking him whenever I'd see him over and over again. And then I opened up for a friend's band that was playing, and I was very weird and esoteric and overly influenced by Andy Kaufman and Stephen Wright, and my act resembled nothing like it does today. But yeah, and then I would do open mic nights. Sometimes I get to host a show at the comedy clubs, the local comedy clubs, and did stuff off and on.
This is going fantastic. I can't tell you how glad I am.
Let's wrap it up. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Seriously.
People are wandering in for reasons that we will never know. So, but
did you book this room?
We did. We booked this room. This whole room has been set up for us. That's why. Todd was here yesterday. We were doing this room.
Oh, I saw that disaster.
We're supposed to have this room until at least 4:30. So, well, that's the kind of stroke I have in this town. I say I want it till 4:30. They go 4:15.
Yeah, it's good enough. Close enough.
So, final question: have you ever bombed in Canada? Has David Cross ever bombed in Canada?
I don't think so. All the shows I've done in Montreal have been pretty good, like really exceptional. There's a room there called the Comedy Works that I used to do in the 90s, and I would consider like one of the top 5 rooms in North America. It was tiny, teeny tiny. It was like the size of this room, and just the greatest audiences. The owner was great. Jimbo, yeah, he was an awesome guy. Really supportive, really enthusiastic, and went out of his way to make you feel comfortable, and the opposite of some other club owners. And he had a great room. It was upstairs of this bar in the English section of Montreal, and it was great. And then I've done the festival a couple times and really had really fun sets there. And haven't done too much outside of that. Done maybe. I mean, outside of the festival, I've probably done like 5 or 6 shows in Vancouver, and they've been okay. The audiences here are I'd say, medium. They're not bad, but they're not like crazy enthusiastic. Like in Montreal, you just have a different energy, And but they've been good. The shows last night were great.
At the audience,
great, really good, exceptional,
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, David. I really appreciate this. Thank you very much. Thank you. And for Totally Random Mouth Noise, I've been Patrick Maliha. Joining me today has been David Cross, and there will be more after this. Thank you. We're rolling.
Hi, David Cross, Totally Random Mouth Noise.
And then we just do this for the intro.
Still rolling.
Hi, I'm Patrick Maliha, and this week on Totally Random Mouth Noise, I'm with David Cross. That's right, the comedy legend. We're going to see if we can get this man to stop waving and smiling. We'll try.
See how long I'll do it.
Brilliant! It's good! Thanks. Thank you.